Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all fandoms, welcome to the Ferret and Raccoon podcast, episode 33. I am the Angry Raccoon.
I am Ace.
And we are back for the, final podcast of March 2016, and also, the pseudo-Easter kind of special, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, somewhat Easter special. We got Easter Bunny sitting next to us, kind of watching it.
There's chocolate everywhere, basically. That's what most kids just regard Easter now as, honestly. It's the day I eat chocolate, mummy.
Yeah, exactly. No understanding of its, relevance and why it happened, but, yeah.
I think it's the same with... It reminds me of that scene from The Simpsons where, I think Bart's like, oh, don't you know what Christmas is about? It's about celebrating the birth of Santa Claus.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I guess so. But, so it's just us two for now, which is, Ferret had to, get things done. He's a very busy man, a very important man in the world of, the general world, I guess.
In sports entertainment.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah. I guess it works that way, but I guess we'll start off before we get into a somewhat interesting podcast. I'd say looking at the stuff we've got to talk about.
It's quite an interesting mix going on.
Yeah, I'd say so. Let's talk about some of the things we've been doing. I know as of at least the last week I've been off, so everything's been a bit more relaxed. So I got a lot more done. So I guess I'll kick it off with the first lot of things I did in the exact order, and that was the fact that I watched Kung Fu Panda 1, 2, and 3 within the span of 12 hours.
Oh wow, alright.
And so I'll obviously we as it's 2016, that Kung Fu Panda 3 was recently released.
Yeah.
I think it's worldwide now, but Europe only just recently got it. I am not going to talk about Kung Fu Panda 3 too much, mainly because there should be a quick review right around the corner. So all I'll really say is it's good. It's definitely worth seeing. If you've seen the first two, definitely go see it. Kung Fu Panda 1 I'd seen before, so that was just like, oh, still just as good as I remember. I remember seeing it in the cinema, not really wanting to see it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, Jack Black and he's a panda. And then it was like, oh, the film's actually good.
I think that's what kind of put me off it. And it's the reason I only watched the first Kung Fu Panda, because it's Jack Black and it's kind of
He does a great job.
Okay.
Because it's not just Jack Black as a panda. It's like, oh hey, to me it's like, hey, this panda just happens to sound like Jack Black.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what it becomes more like. And then Kung Fu Panda 2, which was the second one I hadn't seen, which is really good.
Okay.
Surprisingly good. They took it to another level compared to the first one.
Okay.
Which was really good. They nailed everything for the second one, and the third one kind of mirrors the second one, but it falls flat just on one thing that the second one. Let's try and keep this less confusing. Yeah, it does one thing that the second one really mastered.
Okay.
And it's a bit of a shame, but hey, that's a strong trilogy, and I think, if you looked at the marketing and just how the film is received, I think Kung Fu Panda 3 will be the last one.
Yeah, I could kind of see that. Most people usually go for 3 and then they stop.
I could kind of tell by the way the film ended, and also they made a few callbacks to the first film.
Okay,
okay. So it was like, okay, that's good. Hopefully you guys end it here. End another good franchise. Would you consider the Shrek films a good series of films?
I like the first one and the second one, and that's about it.
So no, then. I guess they got their first good trilogy.
Yeah.
When How to Train Your Dragon 3 comes out, hopefully that's the last one, and hopefully we get 2 strong trilogies from DreamWorks.
Yeah, true.
That's the plan. Ace, I know you want to hit him off with something you have been watching.
Yeah. First I wanted to say I watched Kevin Smith's filmography from Clerks to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that struck me out in particular was Chasing Amy.
Mm-hmm.
I really love this movie now. I'm putting it on my best list. It's essentially a kind of a romance kind of film.
Mm-hmm.
Starts off kind of rom-com and then it hits hard. The scene is very good at how it mirrors it by the discussion they're having at a hockey game, and the hockey people are beating each other up as words are going, and it's as they're kind of arguing verbally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very smartly done. It's very hard me describing it here.
Yeah.
But it's mirrored well. So them arguing and the person winning the argument is kind of symbolized with a hockey player.
Okay.
So, and the hockey player ends up punching the other one, and it symbolizes who's winning the argument. I love that scene. Very smartly done. It's something I actually wanted to do in a kind of comic book or film I want to do at some point.
Okay, well, you got another basis or example.
Yeah. It's a really good romance film.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a comic book artist who falls in love with a female comic book artist, and he ends up learning something about her that's kind of putting them, like, stopping them being together.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of do, even though they shouldn't.
Okay.
I'm trying not to spoil anything.
Oh, so it's basically like... Oh, I know what you mean. So it's basically like Star Wars Episode 2 with, like, Anakin and Padme, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, you're breaking my heart, Anakin.
I'm joking.
Yeah,
That film's terrible.
Chasing Amy, I highly recommend it. I'm trying not to spoil anything story-wise, because it's a good watch.
Mm-hmm.
But next I wanted to talk about two Netflix things I watched.
Oh, yeah.
Both Netflix originals, technically.
Mm-hmm.
We have Daredevil Season 2.
Oh, you watched it all?
I binge-watched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And we both came to the conclusion that John Bernthal as Punisher is one of the best things ever.
Okay.
He is standout, and I will forever see Punisher now as John Bernthal.
As soon as I think we did cover this on the podcast, but as soon as you see that man and it's like, this is Punisher, it was like, okay, Marvel, you just won again.
Yeah, exactly. And he actually sounds like, now I can only hear him as Punisher, and I can only see him as Punisher, and how he talks and what he says. It's like, yeah.
You're going to go on like a spending spree buying all the comics and just replacing his face on like the front of them. I'm making the comics better.
Yeah.
80s, 90s, I'm making them all better.
But it's a really good series. I wouldn't say it's as strong as the first one, because I think it's Elodie Young as Elektra kind of brings it down throughout most of the series.
And what do you mean by brings it down?
As in, it's not as strong.
Okay, just like her performance?
Her character and the story part that she's in is really weak in comparison to the Punisher stuff.
So does this have something to do with... Because aren't Elektra and Daredevil sometimes in love?
Yes, and they are in this.
Okay.
It's like, because even in season 1, he mentions a girlfriend he used to have called Elektra. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that is her real name.
Okay.
Yeah. But he mentions her in season 1, it's kind of a throwaway sentence, and you're like, yeah, it makes sense. And they bring her back, show kind of the backstory behind them, and...
I can't go out with you, you're blind.
No, actually, that's the thing that interests her in him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like, how can you be so perceptive for someone blind? Like, that's not a direct quote, it's kind of more of what she's saying.
Seems a little racist, but okay.
Yeah. Kind of a bit ableist, you might say.
Okay, yeah.
But, yeah, it's kind of weak, and at the end, she actually gets better. But it's a little bit too late, because you're right near the end of the series.
Because it's the credits?
Yeah. No, but she gets better right near the end. And I have to say the best thing, there was a great 5-minute fight scene. Really amazing. Kind of reminds me of a fight scene from the first series.
Okay.
With Daredevil in a hallway. And there's a great 20 minutes of Daredevil and a Punisher on a rooftop talking. Hands down, one of the best things I've seen.
It's like half the episode.
Yeah, well, it was like 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah. But
give or take.
It was amazing. And I would say it's actually what they were trying to do with Batman and Joker in Dark Knight. But I think they did it better. Okay. Yeah.
Because their discussion, let's just say, towards the end of the film was a little bit more brief, I guess, because it was like, they're talking and then, someone ultimately bites the dust.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because... You'd think for something that is a, superhero film or medium, you'd think that the last thing you should really ever worry about is them talking.
Exactly.
And I mean, I don't know what the discussion is, but I imagine it must be pretty relevant or pretty interesting to actually, for it to go on for like 20 minutes. I mean...
I'd say it's on the ethics of being a superhero.
Okay.
And it's handled amazingly well. And that actually leads into the 5-minute fight scene. Okay. Which is also really done well.
Because I was going to ask whether they were talking about anime or something like that.
Oh, yeah. They're discussing their favourite. One of them said Gurren Lagann, the other said it was awful. And he said he was going to kill him. So, yeah.
And it turned into, like, a 20-minute, like, hate discussion on why the other one was wrong.
Yeah. But,
no, bro, but did you watch it, though? Did you watch it, though?
And 2 characters return from season 1, and they're really good, as they were in the first series. And the supporting characters are even better. They've improved.
So overall, the series as a whole is just destroying.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. It's just the Electro bits that kind of take it down in a bad way, which is unfortunate.
Okay, well, I mean, they tried some new stuff. I mean, it's a bigger cast, in this season?
Yeah, it is a bigger cast.
Well, there's, probably going to be weak spots, but hey, it's another success. I mean, hasn't so far almost all of Marvel's endeavours within television been good for the most part?
I'd say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is weaker, in comparison.
Yeah, obviously.
And I haven't watched Agent Carter yet.
I mean, those 2 shows have, almost no budget.
No, they really don't.
It's bad when I can see the outline from Photoshop. I'm joking.
Yeah. No, there are bits where I'm like, I know why you did that. It's to save money on the special effects. And it's kind of but all their stuff on Netflix are gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fine. Still waiting for that DVD, though.
Yeah, I know. I've checked, and they still haven't said anything.
Yeah, just holding on to that a little bit too tight, I would say. Just, maybe someday, guys. Come on.
Exactly.
Maybe someday. You might as well, as soon as you're on a roll. What was the second one? Netflix show? Film, right?
Yeah, film. Yeah. I watched Pee-wee's Big Holiday, which stars Paul Rubens as Pee-wee Herman.
Yes.
I can't remember what his middle name was, but it was really cool or really funny.
What, the character or the real actor?
Pee-wee Aloysius Herman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic.
It's almost like a posh bumpkin name.
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly. And it stars Joe Manganiello, and playing himself.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really fun. Them 2 have the best chemistry ever. They are fantastic.
You kind of saw, I mean, we did cover this on maybe 2 podcasts ago, I think. And that was something they didn't really show too much of, but it was very interesting how you've got this, Pee-wee being Pee-wee, and then you got this guy who's like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm badass, you need to do something with your life.
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of the more highlights, and other than just seeing some of the wackier stuff he's going to do. But, go on.
Overall, I'd say it's a very entertaining comedy. Some jokes don't always hit, and some might go a little bit too long. And considering I'd watched Jane Silent Bob Strike Back recently, the plot kind of reminded me of that, going on the whole kind of road trip to get somewhere. Okay. And then even running into a group of criminal girls as well. It's kind of okay, it's a little bit of similarity.
Interesting, because this one kind of mirrors the first one, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which is a fantastic film. It's probably one of Tim Burton's better films that you wouldn't know it's Tim Burton.
Yeah, I didn't know it was Tim Burton.
No, yeah, Tim Burton did the Pee-wee's Big Adventure film, and it's nuts. I mean, Tim Burton's done some very interesting films that you wouldn't have guessed he was behind. I mean, trying to think of another example. Mars Attacks, you wouldn't think he'd be behind that. And there's another one, Ed Wood.
Oh, yeah, Ed Wood.
Despite the fact it is a black and white film, you wouldn't think that he would be attached to that film. I mean, because, unfortunately, he kind of gets, tailed with, just dark, spooky, which we'll be talking about Tim Burton later in this podcast, which is always a good thing. Yes,
sometimes.
I think so.
It depends.
But I mean, I think some of his more standout films like Beetlejuice, Night Before Christmas, those are the ones he's kind of tagged next to. I'd like to see him do something like Big Eyes once again, where it's just him just doing a film.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But no visuals or nothing.
Overall, I definitely recommend it. It's a fun, light-hearted comedy.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I can't wait for the DVD.
I think you would like it.
I think so.
And it also features one thing that I love in any sort of fictional medium, and I don't know why it is, but I just think it's really cool. It's little model towns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just like those in general in anything. It's kind of thumbs up just for that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So as you can probably tell, we did a lot over the last 2 weeks or so. I still have 2 more things to talk about, which is funny. And I mean, if Ferret was on the podcast, I'm sure he would have a few more.
Exactly.
Particularly soon as the next thing I have to talk about was something me and him did together, and it's a shame he can't kind of talk about this with me as well. When we saw I guess I'm not too sure if they are technically a British band, but we saw the post-punk band Savages.
Oh, nice.
kind of wrapping up their European tour, and they were freaking awesome to say the least. We managed to get the what do you call it? I wouldn't say VIP passes, but it was like we was on the guest list basically.
Okay.
We know someone who's within the band basically, and they were awesome. They played for about an hour and 45 minutes, and
Damn,
they're playing all the tunes from both albums, just going in like everyone was on point, and they play a lot more. If you ever heard the band, they play a lot more rock heavy metal than they do on the album. The album's a bit more like post punk, but
Okay.
they definitely had a stage presence, and for a four person female band, they were just freaking killing it. You might be able to find this one scene, which is the show I was at, where the lead singer, I believe, when singing the song, I think it's Husbands, she then proceeds to start walking on the crowd in a sense, where what she does is she's kind of like the band's kind of like playing the beat, and she's kind of like quickly selecting people to kind of like support her weight while she's kind of like in the middle. She's like, come closer. Everyone's like, oh, while she's kind of in the middle and kind of like singing like, I believe, the chorus to it, and it was pretty funny because she was just like, kind of it got a little heavy metal, and I mean even towards the end she kind of surfed the crowd a little bit,
Nice.
which they did encourage because only one person unfortunately surfed the crowd, which was a bit weird.
Wow.
Yeah, only one guy. And
I think every rock show I've been to, I've crowd surfed because it's brilliant.
yeah, there needs to be more of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever watch the surfer punk band, the Aquabats, they full-heartedly encourage that, especially with children, where there's points where they got kids lining up and they're just chucking the kids on the stage, onto the crowd, which is hilarious. Especially when they play the song Pool Party, where they get a small pool and they put the kid in it, and the kid's just going around.
So I think at one rock show there was this thing they were doing called surfing, where you'd have one person be the surfboard and someone surfing on top of that on the crowd.
Jeez.
Beautiful.
We need more crowd surfing, please.
Yeah.
But they were fantastic. If you ever, they currently, as of the time of this podcast going up, they are doing their, I believe, American tour. So if there are any American listeners who like the band, definitely seek out and going seeing them.
Yeah, I kind of want to see them now.
Awesome. They were amazing. Trust me. I mean, granted, I've only seen like about 5 people live, but top.
Okay.
Top. And speaking of the final thing I saw, which was my most anticipated film of this year, which you'd think, looking at all the superhero films, you'd think it wouldn't be this film, but it is Zootopia, which I saw the day of its release, and my gosh, this film is actually fantastic. I would, because there's going to be a quick review, and I've just looking at the notes I've made, there might even be a review later on in the past, because there's some stuff I want to talk about. I'm not going to spoil anything right now on the podcast, nor will I be spoiling that much more on the quick review, but there's some things that need to be addressed about this film in a good way. A good way. But the film is fantastic. If anyone doesn't know or this is the first podcast you've listened to, basically the film is about a utopia-based world, which is the complete opposite to ours, where everyone, well, I wouldn't say everyone, we're just animals basically, living in somewhat harmony, and you kind of follow our main character, Judy Hopps, the bunny or rabbit, who essentially wants to be a police officer, and that's not something that's ever been done before. And I'm kind of wild being in the city of Zootropolis, which the film is called Zootropolis in England, and the city is called Zootopolis. So I'm like, okay, but I know we had a discussion about the changing of the titles, and Disney said that England's title would be unique, and it's not, because the city is called Zootopolis.
Zootropolis.
Zootropolis. But the film in America is called Zootopia. So
that's
technically, the American title is the more unique title, because there's no real mention of that other than maybe in the beginning.
That's very strange.
Zootopolis is said at least 7 times in the film.
Alright.
Anyway, wondering about titles. The film is fantastic. She meets up with, I'm sure you've seen, the Fox Nick Wilde, and they pretty much go to uncover a mystery. And I was very surprised to see that the trailers and even the clips they've released haven't spoiled anything about this film, or even said what the film is about. This film, trailer-wise, advertising-wise, has said nothing.
Okay.
And this is the kind of film I think a lot of people need to go see. I would highly recommend seeing it if you're a fan of good films. And if you're not a fan of good films, then go see Batman v Superman.
Oh God.
That's all I can say, because they're complete opposites as far as I'm concerned. And if you want to go see Batman v Superman, go see it, but just make sure you see Zootopia.
Yeah, make it a double feature. You
Make
watch
it a
a
double
bad film,
feature.
then a good film after.
I don't like to pay for bad films. That's why I do research on films.
Just sneak in. It's so easy nowadays. Not that I'm saying you should. I'm saying that is an option, even though you shouldn't.
I mean, if you're going to, do it responsibly.
Exactly. Sneak in responsibly, kids.
Always have an alibi. Do what Nick does in the film and just have, like, a kid with you. Oh, I thought this was the Zootopia film.
Oh, I walked into the wrong screen, sorry.
Sorry, let me just leave the building. I can see people doing that, but this film is pretty fantastic. And I mean, I guess, I don't know what else to say. That won't be said in a future review or any. I mean, there's not any other questions you want to ask about the film.
Not that I can think of. I do want to watch it, so I'm keeping spoiler free.
Oh, keep it on the list. Keep it on the list. But yeah, fantastic film. It's maybe the film to beat.
Okay.
This year. I think it probably is.
So it's beating out Hateful Eight and Revenant for you?
Yeah.
Alright.
Personally, yeah. So that's pretty much everything we did for the last 2 eventful weeks. Shall we move on to the stories and topics and headlines?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want me to take the first one?
Yeah.
Sure. So, kicking off our news stories, we're basically talking about PlayStation VR, which recently got its price and packaging kind of revealed, which was quite interesting, as I believe it's dubbed PSVR, which is a kind of dumb name. But they basically revealed that it's going to be released in October of this year, and it's going to cost, I believe, for us, being English consumers, £349 versus a $400 price in America.
And that's also 400 in euros too.
Mm-hmm. Which is quite interesting, how it's £200 cheaper than the Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
Which was quite interesting. So Sony once again have, we kind of lead into this, talking about the fact that the PS camera and the Move controller are not going to be coming with the virtual reality headset, mainly because I'm guessing they cut it last minute just to make the price a little bit sweeter, much like they did with the PS4 back when it was competed with Xbox One, in order for it to be £100 cheaper. So, I guess well done for being snaky once again. But they have said that there will be a bundle with all of it included, which is
so that includes the headset, the controller, and the camera, everything
basically. Thoughts on this, Ace? Because I thought this was quite interesting, other than the whole, it being cheaper than Oculus.
Well,
for the most part.
I still have very limited care, any thoughts towards VR as a gaming device. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it's cheaper, more people are going to end up buying this, because I know my brother is interested in the VR thing, and seeing the difference between Oculus Rift and Sony's one, he's probably going to end up getting a Sony one.
Because it's doing more. Yeah. I think for people who are kind of in the know, when we're looking at the differences, I mean, we're both gamers and we're both within our, we love different mediums. So when we are looking at the Oculus Rift, all I see is educational purposes and advertising. Yeah, exactly. When I see the PSVR, I see some fun mini games.
Yeah, exactly.
For the worst of it. I mean, there is a big push for virtual reality. I'm not really sure why.
It's because it's that next thing that people are jumping onto, like they did with 3D and they did with motion controls and all that stuff.
And those things turned out great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all remember them.
We'll be fair, this could take off, but not anytime soon.
No.
I'll give it 20 years before it's even standard.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't say 20. I'd say if there is a good one made, then maybe 10, 15. But if it's bad...
But that's the thing, the technology is good, it's just people don't know what to do with it.
The application for it.
Yeah. It's bad, just make it for educational purposes.
Exactly. It works well in schools.
Yeah, it will. It's just, right now, messing around with, what could be considered a waste of money for just gaming and
Yeah.
advertising, which is what Facebook is going to do with it. They are just going to shove advertisements right in your brain.
Exactly. They're just going to, like, they'll put it at the corner of your eye.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but I mean, you know, if Sony wants to do one that actually does offer gamers something, that's fine. I mean, Sony could do with all the help they could get right now, because fuck knows there's any games coming out on that fucking system.
Can't think of any, really.
I can think of plenty of Nintendo ones, but I can't think of anything for Sony or Xbox, because it's just like, oh, what you guys got coming out this month?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Still don't care.
I just hope that they don't start doing exclusive VR games that are actually going to be good, like they did with motion control stuff.
When you mean motion control stuff, do you mean stuff like from Sony and Microsoft?
Yeah, like stuff that could have been good or could have done well.
As
like,
a game or like a...
Just like as a game that if it didn't go the way of Kinect, it could have been a fun game.
Yeah, that's true. There's a few I can think of. Mini Ninja 2 and The Gunstringer.
Yeah.
Those
and then
are two really good games that didn't need to be on... Well, actually no, Mini Ninjas wasn't even a game, but there should have been a Mini Ninjas full stop. And The Gunstringer was a good game by Double Fine, and no one played it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It was like the only... I think it's regarded as one of the only games on Kinect that works.
I think, it's generally regarded as the good Kinect game.
Yeah, which is a shame, really, because you have to pay at the time, like £140 just to play that one good game. Not worth it.
And then if they didn't focus on Kinect, there could have been an actual Fable game instead of Fable Journeys.
That was not a good decision.
That was awful.
Oh, it's a shame. Speaking of things that might and might not be a good decision, you want to hit us off with the next story?
Yeah, so it's been announced that Indiana Jones 5 will still star Harrison Ford as, I believe he's still starring as Indiana Jones?
Yes, he is.
And Steven Spielberg is returning for it as well. It's going to be released on July 19th, 2019. So they've already set their date quite a while away.
Well, it's Disney.
Yeah, it's true.
They have a plan, unlike DC.
Yeah.
Well, they have an organised and thought
plan that makes sense. Yeah.
Plan that makes sense compared to DC that's like, just throw it against the wall, does it work?
They've got the same producers that have been there since the start of the Indiana Jones series, who unfortunately I can't remember the names of. And they've got the same screenwriter from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, being David Coop.
Which people are freaking out about.
Yeah, but they're also forgetting that George Lucas has nothing to do with this film. And if you've watched commentary and stuff, you'll realise that was a major problem with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, his input was just...
ludicrous.
Random. I mean... Wasn't the original idea for Indiana Jones 4 was like is in a haunted house?
Yeah, it was something like it was going to be a haunted house, and then there was going to be some other mystery, I think, to do with Atlantis. But there was already a game based on that, so
it's like, George, what are you thinking?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I like Indiana Jones. I mean, I don't like the fourth one.
No, I don't.
I saw it in the cinemas and I was very disappointed by it.
I actually got a pirate copy sold to me of it, so I was like, alright then.
And you still threw it away?
Yeah. Yeah, not kidding. It's been in the bin for years.
Still.
No one wants to collect it.
You ain't sent it to the dumpster, but you're just like, yeah, that's where you belong.
Exactly.
To the bottom of that bin in your house, just like, yeah. That's what I thought. I mean, thoughts on like the whole franchise as a whole, other than 4 being the worst?
I really love the first one. The second one's got its moments, and the third one ends up going for a more silly vein, which it's okay.
Third one's great.
I still like it. I like all 3 of the originals, but I kind of still like the first one the most.
First one is the best one.
Yeah.
I think I would say the third one, Raiders. Not Raiders.
Crusade.
Yeah, Crusade is probably second favorite.
Yeah.
Kingdom of the Crystal, no.
No.
Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom
Great.
has a lot of good stuff.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I love the intro. I love Short Round, and I can't remember what the woman's called. Unfortunately, the blonde one.
I don't remember.
Yeah, she was good as well. She was a nice difference. But I think one thing we kind of need to be a bit concerned about is obviously Harrison Ford reprising Indy. He's getting on in his years.
Yeah, he's going to be 76 when this film comes out.
Exactly. So
I mean, and knowing the guy, he's not the most happiest guy to be acting, obviously.
No.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the guy just wants to retire.
Yeah.
I mean...
Maybe he's going to get Indy to die in this film.
Probably not.
It's possible he could.
Probably not. And, no, I mean... I'm sorry, it's inevitable, but I mean, even once he does die, you know, where in many, many, many years later, I'm pretty sure they're going to remake all of them.
Or they'll do, you know, prequels involving young Indiana Jones.
Or they'll just do what they did with Star Wars and just remake the first film, but call it 6.
Yeah.
Probably what they'll do.
Raiders of the Lost Plot.
I guess. And there'll be no practical effects.
Oh god,
Because
true.
that's how films roll nowadays. But yeah, so let's move on to our next story, which is the first of 3, interestingly enough, trailers, and that is the, I guess, Red Band trailer for Sausage Party, which I do love how people were linking this on social networks going, oh my god, I thought this was a kids film. It's like, have you never seen a Red Band trailer before?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I saw the thumbnail for it, and I was like, okay, it does look like a kids film. And I saw Red Band, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And I got very confused at that. I was like, I have to watch this now.
So, essentially, just from what I'm gathering, this film is an adult 3D animated film being produced by Sony that's basically about food, realizing that people eat food, or I guess in their terms, kill food once they leave the supermarket. So it basically involves our main character pretty much trying to convince the rest of food or the supermarket that what's going on, which I think is just the basis of the plot.
Yeah.
I was more interested by the general cast in this film. It was quite worth mentioning. So Seth Rogen, I believe, plays the main character. You've got Jonah Hill, Kirsten Wiig, Michael Cera, James Franco, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, exactly. You got the whole group there.
The whole gang's here. Which is kind of interesting. But I mean, this film didn't really do anything. I mean, I'm not going to forgive anyone who starts going, oh, wow, first adult animated...
Yeah,
watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch it.
There have been adult animated films since animated films started. Like, trust me, some of the first ones.
If you're talking about, like, films that were published in cinema, there haven't been too
I wouldn't
many,
say in cinema.
like, shown in cinema, but I'm talking about adult cartoons, adult films. Yeah, it's been tons.
But, I actually thought it looked quite entertaining. I mean, first time they actually said "fuck" in the trailer, I was like, "What?" But then they overused it as the rest of the trailer went on. Yeah,
this film is just concept over content, really. I mean, it's just let's be an explicit animated 3D film for the sake of being it. I mean, the animation isn't very good.
No.
And I didn't find it funny at all. Design is I'm not liking this film at all.
Me and my brother said we might get some friends, get drunk, and then go to the cinema and watch it because we think it'd be even funnier then. So that's my plan.
Yeah, no, I'm not feeling this film, honestly. I mean, I guess it's cool they did it, but it's just like, and I think the problem is something they overlooked is the fact that it bears too much similarity to Food Fight.
I have not watched Food Fight.
Well, we need to look a review of that film because that film is not a good one.
Okay.
Right, moving on to our next story. We're going to be talking about Xbox or Microsoft or Xbox 360, whatever the fuck you want to call them. They essentially posted a survey on Reddit, basically asking people would they sell back their games and their digital games in order to get a 10% discount on their next purchase. So, for example, if you bought a game for £60, you're only going to get about £6 to spend on your next purchase. Now, I thought this was kind of interesting that now Microsoft is asking whether they want to do this, because it's kind of them maybe trying to ease people into the digital age a little better, you know, encourage people to buy a game online in order to, keep that trend going or whatever. Personally, I find anyone who just constantly buys all their games on the system, I find that it's kind of silly to be polite because... let's be honest, the systems themselves aren't very well made. Your one can easily break down. Even if you can recover all your hundreds of gigs of games, that's going to be a while of downloading. And if you have an internet connection, it's all this blah, 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 blah. Silliness. I I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether you're aware of this, Ace, but I mean, the American store GameStop, they actually proposed this idea like a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did. They proposed that people come in and sell pre-owned digital games, to which people went, "What?
Yeah.
How is that possible?"
Yeah, I mean, I could understand doing it through Xbox, but how would you through GameStop?
They never really explained it, and that's probably why they haven't implemented it, because it was just them, I guess, trying to reassure that they'd still be relevant for the next couple of years, because stores like GameStop and...
they usually run on pre-owned games.
Yeah, they run on pre-owned games, and I guess, other than not having any games on their system, that is Sony and Microsoft's biggest issue, is, they're not making that money. That's why there's a push to digital, because then they can charge how much money they want for a game, and if you don't like it, tough.
Even if it's been out for like 5 years.
Yeah, tough.
They can still charge 20.
Tough. It's a fixed price. Everything's fixed on digital. Everything's fixed, and once everything goes digital, get ready to see a lot of things get hacked and stolen. You think making everything digital will stop piracy? No.
But like, as an idea, being able to sell back digital games is fine. I like that. I think they should also implement a trial run, so you could like play a game for like an hour or something, see what it's like. That would be a good idea.
I mean, money back is always money, and that's good. I mean, I wish what they would do is they would be a little bit more generous with this, and kind of look more at what Steam does, where you can get a full refund. Yeah,
that would be a good option.
I'm not saying that Microsoft should do a whole refund kind of thing. I'm saying they should be a lot kinder, honestly.
I think for Steam, it's like you get a full refund if you've got less than 2 hours. Yeah. So that would be a good idea. Because then it is essentially a trial run, which I like. It's a good idea.
I mean, I prefer to actually have a game rather than have like a thumbnail on my console. So
but if it's download-only game, like digital-only, then...
That is the problem. If there's no choice, and it's a real shame there are some games that only exist digitally, and when Microsoft or Sony decide, hey, fucking system's down, or removing this, it's going to be like PT again, where it's like, oh well, you best not delete that game because no one can play it ever again.
Because I know there's this game that was a Xbox 360 live only game, Shadow Complex, and that's being re-released for I think PC and PS4. So I'm finally going to get to play that game because I wanted to. And if it gets physical release, I'm getting that instantly. But if not, I'm going to have to download it.
I think it was on a collection that I think 360 released.
Oh, really?
But obviously you don't have that system, so it's still worthless.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, right. Do you want to cover the next story, kind of talking about Capcom?
Yeah.
And they're also kind of throwing out a survey as well.
Yeah, because the Xbox One was a survey. That's where it got mentioned. But Capcom recently released a survey. It is in Japanese, but you can kind of go through it with the Google Translate. It's not perfect, but you can get the gist of it.
I'll put a link that basically translates it automatically from Google Chrome.
Yeah. But one of the interesting things was that they asked if you were... they asked if you were interested in a new Mega Man game, which was... is it Mega Man 10?
11.
Mega Man 11. I forgot Mega Man 10 came out, unfortunately. But yeah, Mega Man 11. So.
And to which it was like, well, duh.
Yeah, exactly. It's a moment of, well, yes, release it. Now. Go on.
Yeah, I don't know. This was interesting because it's almost as if Capcom's trying to do a soft, defeat, where they're like, okay, let's see if we,
let's see if people are actually interested in Mega Man. They say they are, but I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. I mean, we've already cancelled 4 games, but let's really see. I don't know. It also makes me wonder whether this is coming off the heels of Street Fighter V doing just piss poor.
Yeah. Although I still don't think they understand why it did piss poor.
No, they're probably going, what? We gave you hundreds of hours of a game. Why are you complaining? So I guess the question now would be kind of going into some of the things they talked about, being like, would you want to see collections of Mega Man games? Because Mega Man does have a big franchise. Sequels, reboots, anything and everything Mega Man related that has to do with a game. I guess the question now is, what do we want? Personally, just between us two.
Personally, I would love a Mega Man 1 to 10 collection. And that would I would love it if they could remake, like, I think 7 and 8 in the style of the retro ones.
Mm-hmm.
But also give you the other ones as an option thing.
Yeah, always. They should always do that. If they're going to remake a game, always make the original game.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that'd be a nice thing that they could do there, because then you've got all of them in the same kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could at least remake them all in a new style or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love one that's got the Mega Man Battle Network series and Mega Man Star Force together as a collection.
Oh, yes.
Because I think there is a crossover between those two in one of the games.
I'm not too sure.
Okay. Mega Man X collection, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And we need Mega Man Legends.
We need Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah.
The game they cancelled for 3DS.
Yeah.
Which some people would consider the death of Mega Man.
Yeah, basically, yeah, I agree.
If you can look at the article as well, where they basically cancelled the game due to, and I quote, lack of fan support.
Yeah, apparently. I think they weren't listening to the people.
I think they just had enough, and they were like, we don't want to make this game, despite the fact there's fucking gameplay of this game.
Yeah.
They cancelled it so close to release. It's like,
exactly.
What are you doing? But I want more Zero.
Yeah.
Personally, I think we need more Zero. Just a little bit. I mean, I don't want another like series or anything, but just that. More Battle Network. Just put a collection on the 3DS.
I mean, to be honest, I would love if they did a new series that had its own Mega Man ideas.
I think it could work.
Because there's a lot of stuff that they could tackle that they haven't done.
Especially now that the 3DS is integrated with internet.
Yeah.
You could have a field day with that kind of stuff. And also, I guess the franchise people forget the ZX series. Let's do something more with that.
Because ZX only had 2 games, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I loved the Biometal concept. That was great.
They really need to do more with those series. I think every franchise. I mean, personally, I don't want a Mega Man 11.
Yeah.
But if a Mega Man 11 means we'll get more of the things we just listed, sure.
Yeah. I mean, one thing they could do. How about a make your own a Mega Man game where you get to make your own Mega Man? That could be an interesting concept they haven't done yet.
Make your own Mega Man as in like customize?
Yeah, like customize so you could give them your own armor, own colors, own abilities, and you get abilities by beating bosses. So you can customize it how you want.
It's basically Mega Man, isn't it?
Technically, but it'd be a different style. It'd be like level setup, so you set up with a certain thing.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm not feeling that. I don't know. Right, do you want to take our second trailer, Ace, which is a peculiar one?
The next trailer is for Charles Xavier's School for Gifted Children.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, no. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Oh, I was wondering which one of us was going to get to the X-Men joke first.
Yeah, it's very similar to X-Men. I think that's an obvious. Bunch of people with gifted powers at a kind of a state home. The thing is, it's something the X-Men films have not done, in which it's based around the children and the actual kind of students, which I'm happy for.
I dubbed this film British Kid X-Men.
Yeah.
British Creepy Kid X-Men.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this film's based on a book from about 2010 or something like that.
Yeah, 2010.
I don't really read into it too much, but I mean, this is being directed by Tim Burton, or as the trailer is, the visionary.
Oh, yeah.
That is Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, okay. And, I mean, doesn't look like a Tim Burton film, which is fine.
Yeah.
I've already said that. But, I mean, I'm hoping that this film does kind of what you were kind of saying, and it does the same things and more that X-Men does. Because I think the reason why X-Men works is it's themes of like difference, change, prejudice, maybe even puberty if you want to put it in there as some of the more subplots. I kind of hope that this film does a good job of being, let's say, an X-Men film and does a better job at what the Hunger Games and the Divergent series is trying to be when it's talking to teenagers, without it just being like, you're special, right? Let me tell you how special you are.
Because you could literally translate this film into an X-Men, and you could literally give it the title New Mutants. Yeah, and that would work perfect.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the trailer, I mean, it looks fine.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be fun.
As long as I'm trying to make a franchise out of this, that'll be fine.
No.
Because I don't see any of the kids fighting evil.
Well, I saw one of them had, the ordinary kid. He had the crossbow against that weird monster-looking thing.
Which took me out of the trailer, so I was like, oh no.
I was kind of like, what the hell is that monster?
CGI BS Man is back again.
And I liked that the kid was like some ordinary like, you know, he doesn't know what powers he has.
He doesn't look ordinary.
No, he looks creepy, but maybe that's a superpower.
Looks like he came straight out of Timber.
Yeah. But that's something that I would have loved to have written for an X-Men comic. An ordinary kid who goes to the X-Men school and doesn't know what his power is. I would have loved to have done that, but this kind of beat me to it.
I mean, some of the characters, they kind of have some cool powers. I mean, some of the ideas are cool. I mean, the twins, they're in that like costume.
Yeah, that weird thing.
They're on the front cover of one of the editions of the book, and if you look it up, it's framed and shot in a way as if it's a photo from the 1940s, because children from the 1940s in photos are the creepiest thing ever.
Yeah, they really are. Especially when they're wearing gas masks.
Especially when they're in Halloween costumes, because kids in the 40s to 50s were hardcore when it comes to
take shit.
When it came to costume dressing. It's like, oh man, I need some fur for like my costume. Let me go kill something.
Yeah, exactly.
And skin it. Trust me, some kids today are just wimps compared to kids in the 40s.
Yeah, they really are.
But, I mean, the one character I liked was the air girl.
Oh, yeah.
I like the idea of her wearing, like,
the heavy boots.
The heavy boots.
Yeah.
And
then she's, like, he's holding her on
yeah, like
string.
a freaking balloon, which I thought that was great. I don't understand how they go underwater and she breathes oxygen and all the water's gone. I was like...
I think I kind of got the idea of that. Like, she was basically inhaling like water or something and like just pushing it out somewhere. I don't know.
It looked more like she was just like, oh, let me expel air, and now the water is pushed out of this section of the room.
I'm sure it'd get explained during the film.
I don't know. No, I'm not trying to say the film's flawed or anything. But
film's
it was just
flawed. Right, film's over. Goodbye, guys.
Done. Failed.
It's bad.
Made less than $1 million. I'm sure it'd be a good film. I kind of hope, it's very rare that we're positive about films. Well, as until we get to the third trailer.
Oh, yeah.
But I hope this film does well. I hope it's just a one-time film, and I hope it does a good job.
Yeah, same. I'm quite looking forward to it.
Same here. Back to more gaming and negative news. Do you want to take this story, or should I?
You can take this one.
I'll take this one. So, this is kind of rumored-ish, but essentially Nintendo and the Wii U, they might be ending production of the system this year. Now, this is, like I said, still a rumor, so according to this one Japanese report, Nikki, essentially translated by some guy on Twitter who he claims he's doctor, but I'm not too sure. I didn't look up the guy.
Dr. Some guy on Twitter.
Yeah,
that's his full name.
Yeah, we'll call him that. Essentially, the report says that Nintendo has stopped producing some of the Wii U accessories and plan to, deplete its inventory by the end of the year, including the Wii U.
Yeah.
Now, this, if true, which might be true, seems a bit early.
Well, I think it kind of makes sense. I mean, they've got NX that they said is coming out this winter or next year.
Something like that.
Yeah. And there's still plenty of stock of Wii U in lots of shops and run-back stock that they can go back on. So it does make sense. And did Wii U sell well? I can't remember.
Sorry?
Did Wii U sell well?
Sell well?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, from what I thought, it didn't sell that well. So I could understand why they stopped production of it. But you said you confused, thought it was early?
It seems like it's early to just stop producing a system because, let's just use a couple examples. I mean, the PlayStation 2 was around for 20 years because they kept making them and they kept making games for it. Like, it only ceased production, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Although that was one of the best-selling consoles ever.
Yeah, it is.
And that's one of the
I can understand that. But it's the same with... let's use a slightly more recent example. They've only just stopped making 360 and PS3 games. There are still a few that are coming out, and they are still making those systems. So I think it's a bit early for Nintendo to kind of say, all right, we're done with this system, move on to the future.
I think
now.
One of the reasons there are still 360 and PS3 games is because, there aren't any on PS4 and Xbox One. So,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's kind of why. And considering Nintendo, there's going to be games on the NX. So...
there will be whatever the NX is or whatever those games are. I mean, some of the questions I had was like, would the Wii U technically become a rare system in that sense? Because its production is already limited.
I mean, that's the thing. As soon as I heard this, I was like, I need to buy me a Wii U now.
Yeah, it's obviously it's not super rare, but it's like, technically a rare thing. I mean, I don't think. I mean, let's say if they just stopped production right now, you know, there would maybe be about 5 million in the world.
Yeah.
If any, you know, just as a, you know,
rough estimate.
Yeah, rough estimate. I mean, it does also rub me the wrong way in the sense it's like Nintendo's just given up on the system. I mean, you can kind of tell with the fact that a lot of its more popular games are just being supported by DLC.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, it also suggests that maybe Nintendo just has like real faith in NX, whatever it is. Because
I mean, they have been saying that it's going to be groundbreaking and something gaming hasn't seen. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Whatever NX is, I'm sure it'll be worth talking about, I guess we can say. Right, moving on to our next story. Somewhat sad news once again, and so soon. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll take this one. Mm-hmm. So, Sony have recently closed Evolution Studios, which are the developers behind the Drive Club and MotorStorm games.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because recently they laid off about 55 employees due to the I think the very low sales of Drive Club. Mm-hmm. But there was a quote that they said about this, which was where possible, we will try to reallocate people to into other projects.
Within, I imagine, Sony.
Yeah. And then, if appropriate opportunities are not possible within the company, we will assist staff in any way we can, including speaking with local employers and with other development companies. So it seems they are still trying to help the staff even after closing the studio.
Yeah, this is the I think 8th studio to get closed down this month.
Yeah.
I don't know whether in business it's a practice within March to decide, okay, let's, flush out anything we don't need, or it's a coincidence. But I mean,
technically March is the first quarter of the year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
But it seems even if that's so, that's still 8 studios done. Yeah. That's still quite a few people losing their jobs within an industry which is apparently worth a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as, at least Sony didn't, kind of just discredit the team and basically being like, oh, we're getting rid of things that gamers want, so we're closing down 5 studios. It's like, thanks, Microsoft. Thanks for making us feel appreciated with that statement. We're going to focus on only the games people want. Fuck you, Project Spark.
Yeah, exactly.
But real shame to hear. We hope that everyone who did work for the studio actually does manage to get a job still within the industry and hopefully is able to, make a game. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they get a new job, work on some new games, bring us some new fresh games into this world.
New ideas, fresh out of those. Sorry.
Exactly.
Oh, dear. Ooh, got a yawn. Oh, excuse me. Mainly because the next... I don't know. I was going to say the next story is boring, but then again, no, it's not. Let's move on to a slightly more interesting one, which kind of has the film industry maybe in a bit of trouble. And that is the, new streaming service called The Screening Room, which could prove to be a problem for the cinema/film industry. So essentially, this service would basically let you watch films in your house as soon as they come out at the same time at the cinema for a paid subscription. It's about $150 to actually buy the thing, have it installed.
Because it's an actual top box.
Yeah,
you have to buy for it.
And which I remember they're saying that only their people can install it.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
A bit weird.
Yeah.
And it's $50 per 48 hours per rental, which is pretty fucking steep.
Yeah, that's very steep. That's basically the same as getting your ticket, getting popcorn, getting a drink.
But I know people have also said that, if you get people to chip in and you get a ton of people in one room, then, it could be...
Bring the whole neighbourhood.
Now, the project is led by Sean or Sheen Parker, who's essentially the guy who was behind Napster, which Napster and that guy in himself was definitely an interesting endeavour around the 2000s regarding music, downloads and piracy. So I definitely recommend looking up that whole fiasco if you have the time, or if you're 12, I guess. No offence, it's just that's actually worth looking into, kids.
Seriously. It is very interesting.
Now, already the screening service itself has certain people within the industry talking about whether it's good or not. Some of the people who are definitely supporting it, and we can kind of do a quick funny mini game and say whether these people are actually worth a damn within the industry. So we have, let's see, Martin Scorsese, he's on board.
Yeah.
Great director.
Yeah, he is.
J.J. Abrams,
mixed.
Okay.
He's got good ideas.
He's got good ideas, but director, no. Steven Spielberg, yes,
Yes,
of course.
very good.
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard, I've seen very little of his films. Backdraft was good.
I think he is good. He's yet to make massively good films.
Yeah.
Ryan Grazer.
I unfortunately don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either. I ain't gonna lie. And Peter Jackson, who has made good films.
He has made, but recently not so much.
His last few, from about The Lovely Bones to about now, no.
I can't remember. Oh no, I was thinking something else. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So they're all behind it. They basically, kind of their consensus is that this kind of service will hopefully get more people interested in film, hopefully get them watching more films and kind of, make them fans of it. On the complete opposite side, people who are against it, being James Cameron, he's made some good films.
In the past, yeah. I'd say not recently.
He seems to be good at sequels.
Yeah, he's good at... Yeah, I'd say he's kind of like the Obsidian Studios, of film.
Yeah.
Of expanding.
He did Aliens and Terminator 2, which are fantastic films. It's like, oh, okay. And Titanic, of course, which is a good film, if not flawed.
Yes.
Who else is it? John Ledoux.
I don't know who that is.
Neither do I. And the National Association of Theatre Owners, or NATO, unsurprisingly, aren't too thrilled with this idea.
I mean, you can understand that, because theatre in itself, like cinemas, have been closing down a lot more.
Yeah. Due
to the rise of, online stuff.
Yeah, they have every right to be upset. Now, kind of their main argument, which I guess is, I think, their strongest point, is they're essentially going about the idea that this is going to only increase piracy. And now what they mean by piracy is the fact that, much like I said earlier, just get as many people, as they say, as many people as you can into one room, all to watch the film for free, and then they're not paying any money. I can completely understand that worry, because then it only takes one person. And
you could even record it as you're watching it.
Oh, yeah, I'd imagine. I mean, you're in the comfort of your own home. You only need to set up a camera and a tripod.
Set up a camera or set up screen capturing software.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Apple won't let you capture it, but, as in like Apple Max and that.
Oh, yeah.
But you can get around that very easily. I mean, it isn't... I mean, your thoughts, basically, on this whole situation. Are you... would you be for this?
I think it's a good idea. They haven't really thought about it and what it can do to cinema and movies itself. So, I'm not entirely against it, but I think they need to rethink it.
Yeah, I mean, this service is still a while away. I mean, it's not, happening right now, but it's definitely something that...
It's not, I've got it right at my home now.
Oh, shit. What are we watching?
How did you think I saw Batman v Superman?
Yeah, that's how we're watching it. But I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of what it is right now. I think it can coexist with cinema, because if you look at Americans, some of you guys are lazy as fuck. So this is perfect for you.
Yeah, exactly. There's also the case of, if you're in a small town and stuff, the cinema might be several miles away.
Oh yeah, not everyone has the access to cinemas. I mean, currently we're recording, we're fortunate enough to kind of be in between about 4 cinemas, so...
I can name at least 6.
Yeah, so, we're fortunate enough. Some people might not be. Some people might live in the countryside and can only ever see the trailers for films.
Yeah, exactly. Or they might have to wait for it to be online or on DVD.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the wait is kind of annoying, but I mean, right now, they need to think about this.
Yeah, they need to rethink it and understand what problems it could do.
Maybe partner with someone who has more specialties or has technology stuff. Maybe like Apple. If Apple got on board with something like this, then they could really perfect it.
Partner with Netflix. Partner with Netflix. They've been doing well.
They're the only people who've been doing well when it comes to streaming services, honestly. But then who can blame them? You just gave them 2 examples as to why you should be on Netflix. But hey,
I feel like I should be their spokesman, getting sponsored by them right now.
Sure, and just hit us up.
Yeah.
You know the email, which we forgot to mention, which is raccoonplusfriends@gmail.com. You can hit us up if you have any questions or anything else you want to throw our way regarding the podcast or the channel. So, you hear that, Netflix? So, let's move on to one of the last stories we have, and that is good news for animation and animation majors, students, people who want to get into general animation.
You might say good news, everyone.
Exactly, you could say that. And that is the fact that Toonz, the software, which the studio Rough Draft, who make Futurama, use, and Studio Ghibli, is now becoming free for anyone to use as of March 26th. So after this podcast has been released, so you can go and download this software for free right now if you want.
Go ahead, we'll wait.
Yeah, we will. So essentially, the free version, and I believe the, deluxe version, is going to come with a bunch of custom features, which are going to help you get a little bit more into animation and what these studios, especially Ghibli, have kind of perfected and, crafted within their films, which is a freaking added plus. I mean,
exactly.
The story is very short and very brief, but this is really good news for anyone who wants to do animation. Because, a lot of animation software that's just so hardly just animation. Like, you can make animation in Flash, which is now changed to animation, but obviously just buying that's £50.
I think
drop,
so. Yeah.
£50, $50. So, being able to have a starting point, a free starting point, whether you know animation or not, that's a godsend right there.
It's brilliant, and thank you so much for doing this.
Yes, this is really nice. And also the good thing as well is, it's going to be a basic version, so obviously once if you are a younger person, you have some money, then you can go buy the deluxe version, which is going to be about maybe £50 or so, if you're really that passionate about it. And, we get a whole bunch of animators doing awesome cartoons for kids and adults alike, which would be really good. So this is some of the best news we've had on the podcast. Well, I think it's the best news story on the podcast, but not the funniest, which we'll get to soon. So Ace, I know you have to take the next story, and I'm going to let you.
Yeah, so you might know I'm a massive Batman fan.
I hadn't noticed.
Oh yeah, don't you see it? I'm just tattooed all over. It's just Batman everywhere.
You always wear the mask, and I always have to convince him to take it off before the podcast begins,
because I start growling as soon as I put the mask on. But they released a trailer for Lego Batman, and during the thing, it's like, oh yeah, from the studios that brought you like all the Batman films. This looks awful.
Really?
Yeah, I really, really don't like the look of this.
In the sense of just theme-wise and that?
Just everything. Like, it was a okay joke from the Lego movie that they're doing a whole film based around.
Yeah, like, I am not happy with the fact that it's more Batman.
Yeah.
But the only thing I am happy with this film, and a few other things, is the fact that they are making fun of the character and making fun of DC, because I don't think DC know they're being made fun of.
Yeah.
I honestly think DC has just given the team $200 million and said, make a Batman film, and they have not looked at this film at all. Because they have essentially made Batman a braggadocious, self-censored, and egotistical Batman/superhero who is basically a sad and pathetic human when he goes home.
See, that's the thing. I understand that, and I love that in the Lego movie. But I feel like a whole movie based around that is so...
I don't think the whole movie would be that.
No, but just around this Lego Batman character, it's just like, I don't care.
I think for the concept, I think it's pretty good. And I think... it reminds me a lot of Darkwing Duck.
Yes.
So if you've ever seen a Disney show, he's essentially a superhero who is only really doing it for the fame and fortune.
Yeah,
He's a good guy, but his ultimate goal is to save the day and be the hero. This is very much what the film is portraying Batman as. He's like, oh, I've got money, I'm Batman, I do this. There's a bit where he's eating his peach cobbler as he makes it in his empty mansion, and he's like, yep, I deserve this, I'm a hero. And that's kind of cool. That's great. Maybe with another superhero that could have worked, or maybe its own film, but I think
if it was a short, it would have been fine.
Well, the film's going to be hopefully an hour and a half, so...
Yeah.
Compared to how long Batman v Superman is...
Oh, God. Yeah, dumb people, man.
Who?
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Just...
this is the same... This is coming from the same studio who are already saying... Oh yeah, it always seem to be kind of portraying that Suicide Squad is already an iconic film. It's like, no.
Oh God.
You don't get to dictate what's iconic.
I know. It's so dumb.
Trust me, there's a line in Zootopia that will be iconic.
Okay.
Trust me, I can tell you that. Because you know why? Because it's a fucking good film. That's why.
Yeah.
DC, you're yet to make the good film.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Zack Snyder's start of the universe. I'm talking Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. You're yet to make a good film. Does he bleed? Makes no sense. That's not an iconic line.
No, it's
Does he
not.
bleed? No, because if you watch the version that isn't 3 hours, no one will bleed because you removed the blood.
But it's like, Marvel Cinematic Universe started with a good film, Iron Man, and that made sense.
Oh yeah, I was surprised
DC.
though. I wouldn't have thought
Yeah.
that Iron Man would ever be this big.
Exactly. But DC, you started with Man of Steel that was nothing. Sort your game out.
I mean, I think once Zack Snyder is kind of removed from DC,
I thought you meant from the world, but alright.
I mean, okay, I'd much rather have Zack Snyder making a bad film than M. Night Shyamalan making an attempt to make a good film.
But that would be funny, that's the difference.
But here's the thing, would you rather have... Our opinions on, like, DC Marvel, would you rather have a really mediocre film, which is apparently what people seem to think Batman v Superman is right now, or would you much rather have a just pathetic, laugh out loud, misguided film that is absolutely nothing but aggravating and kind of funny from M. Night Shyamalan?
That. I'd prefer the Shyamalan one, because then that'd still be entertaining.
It'd be memorable.
Yeah.
DC would never hire him. No. I mean, kind of just staying on DC, we wanted to mention this because we wanted to link a video, and that is the just some of the stuff coming out about Batman v Superman and how it's a terrible film. I mean, it's got people pretty split for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, critics seem to think the film is crap, mainly because they know what makes a good film, while audiences seem to think the film is pretty good because...
Well, it's Batman, it's Superman.
They're fanboys, I think. I mean, it was really upsetting on the 25th to see a lot of people in Superman shirts going to see this film, and I'm like, oh, you should probably go see Zootopia, guys. I mean, you get a little bit more enjoyment out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's fine if you want to see both, but like, you guys have money to burn? Okay.
Yeah. I feel like that because like when I went to Avengers 2 and I wore my Avengers like college kind of
you had to take it off.
No, I felt bad. It was kind of like, oh dear, why did I see it wearing this? I mean, it was still better than most of like any of the DC cinematic universe so far.
It was a shame I didn't bring my Judy Hopps shirt when I went to go see Zootopia, but
that would be cool.
I haven't seen any of the merchandise yet, which is weird for that film. Just on a quick note, like literally I passed by the Disney store and I was like, oh, where's Zootopia?
Well, there was that whole merchandising thing, so maybe they sorted that out and they're getting it released.
I guess. I mean, there's probably a ship on its way.
Because they'd probably have to change the name, like, on all the labels and everything.
Oh, they've already done that with the posters in there.
Yeah, but for merchandise, you got to print all that stuff.
When I went to the cinema, because I was with my mum, which I should honestly go to the cinema with my mum more often, because she has some of the better reactions to things.
Okay.
She was like, oh, can we get, like, 3 for Zootopia? And she's like, right, Zootopolis. And I was like, no, that's the shit name. And my mum was like, what? And I was like, no, that's the English name. I was so tempted to be like, no, that's the shit title.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Kind of is. But, yeah, definitely go see more films with your mum, especially Zootopia, because she'll like it. She really liked the lamb character.
I can understand why.
Like, no joke, there was a scene where my mum was like, oh.
That sounds like what I would do. That's the problem.
There are a few moments in that film. There's an image going around where it's like any image of Zootopia, and it's just my feelings.
But
you know.
Yeah, I think Lego Batman's still going to be better than Batman v Superman.
Oh, of course.
But I just don't care about it. It's kind of like the Batman Telltale game. I'm cared less about it since I've seen the Minecraft game. Yeah.
You were like, ooh, fuck.
Like, if you're making it that easy, do I care enough?
I think we had a discussion on this in the next podcast, or was this like, I don't know if this was recorded, but we were talking about that game.
Oh, yeah.
We was just like, this game
Might as well be a film.
makes no sense because there's going to be no choice in that sense, because it's not as if Batman's ever going to be faced with the situation of you either kill this guy or save his life, because Batman will always save his life.
The only thing I could possibly come up with is which place do you go to investigate, and that determines how the detective stuff goes on.
Or which bone do you want me to break?
Yeah, exactly.
Arm or leg?
Yeah. And if they're leg, then they can't walk and help you later.
This thug will remember that.
Yeah. Exactly. And then, like, what person do you save? It's like, do you save this person or this person?
Well, he'll save both.
You will, but they'll react differently. It's like, I'm going to save Vicky Vale, and then Robin will remember this.
Oh, God. Yeah, too much Batman. Can we get someone else, please? DC? Like,
give me Zatanna. She needs more.
Just Tanner film would be awesome.
Yeah. Have
her team up with...
Just have
Judy
Raven.
Hopps.
Like, what if she's rooming with Raven? How cool would that be?
It better be Kid Raven.
Yeah.
I want to see no creepy adult Raven, no.
Like, imagine, like, Teen Zatanna, Team Raven, just roommates.
Sure.
That'd be cool.
That's fine. It's fine with me. Black magic and reverse magic is Zatanna's magic?
Yeah, it's kind of like weird reverse magic and demon magic.
I know she speaks everything in reverse, but...
I think it's just considered normal magic, because it's not order magic, because that's Dr. Fate.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Dr. Fate's too powerful anyway.
Yeah, he is. Oh my god, I need to send you an image. It's 90s Dr. Fate.
Oh god.
And he's turned, like, I think the cape into, like, a weird scarf, like, thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got all, like, I think the Ankh on his hand, or is, like, as a mask or something. It's really embarrassing. It looks hilarious.
I like your choice of words was, it's really embarrassing.
It's typical 90s anti-hero, like, nonsense.
Bad boy.
Yeah, it's like, how do we make Dr. Fate look badass? It's like, oh no.
It was like that redesign of Lobo, like, in 2015. It was like, oh no.
Oh god.
It was like, why is this teenager kid wearing face makeup?
Did you see 90s Batman as well?
I don't think I did.
Oh jeez. Okay. I need to show you this. It's in a great story called Nightfall, where some, like, annoying ass kid takes over as Batman. He turns it into, like, some sort of metal power armor.
The only time Batman should be young is when it's like one of his sons, Robin, or
Dick Grayson.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah, true. Batman Beyond.
You watch that cartoon, you're like, yo.
That's something. I saw the Batman Beyond costume in the Lego Batman trailer.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine they had all of them.
Yeah, I thought that was nice.
Oh, that is like the best costume.
I'd say it's okay. I would say
if you want to
best.
talk about,
yeah,
I know it's gonna kind of be dumb saying like within the continuity of Batman, but like if we were to say, oh, there was Batman and then Batman died and then the next Batman, that's the best one. That's what I mean by the best Batman costume. Yeah. No otherworld bullshit like, oh, it's just steampunk. No.
Yeah.
Talking about if Batman existed in one world and that was the natural evolution of Batman, that would be the best one.
I'd say Dick Grayson Batman.
I meant costume-wise.
Yeah. Even costume-wise. Like, it looks classic, but because he's slim, it doesn't look like bulky, dumbass Bruce Wayne. It looks like circus guy, and it's cool.
That's another benefit with the Lego Batman film. He doesn't look bulky.
Exactly.
Right, let's move on to our final story, which is a bit of a goof and a bit of a laugh, and mainly because the title is in, the story is in the title, and that is basically neighbor steals PlayStation 4, gets caught after he keeps it connected to his victim's Wi-Fi.
I love this.
So just just a little bit more story. The thief being, we're going to expose him, Philip D. Booker. Essentially, while his victim was out on holiday, he basically broke into his house, stole a bunch of his stuff, mainly including his PS4. It wasn't until a couple of days, two TVs and a couple of other like laptops and stuff like that. It wasn't until a couple of days later, the victim got alerted on his phone via the PlayStation Store that his PS4 had been turned on and was connected to his Wi-Fi.
My God.
To which he deduced that his PS4 was close by, and he called the police. And once again, Philip D. Booker, the dumbass of the week, was caught.
And he wasn't just caught with the PS4. He was also caught with some weed and some of the other stolen stuff. And his mugshot is bloody hilarious.
We are going to put that news story in the title just so you can see that idiot's face.
Trust me, it's hilarious.
You can tell this guy is going places.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can kind of tell that he is going places, and I mean straight to the slam.
Yeah, he'll probably get out and then cause more crime.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. What an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's always good to end the podcast on idiots and funny stuff, and also nice heartwarming stuff. So, let's move on to the end of the podcast, being our video of the episode, which is... Now, should I say it in the style, or should I just say...
No, say it out.
I'll say it normally. So it's Yuan Vaporwave, which is essentially a remixed version of the Yuan Kazoo video, which kind of got uploaded like about January. We didn't really cover it because we just didn't.
Yeah.
And it's essentially a remix of that, where instead of kind of playing the kazoo, you're playing the you're getting into Vaporwave.
Yeah.
Which is just 5 minutes of just a good time, I would say.
I like the samples used. They were good.
The samples used were definitely great. I mean, just the prominent sample of Vaporwave.
Yeah.
Is just perfect. I mean, I think my favourite part of the video is just when the kid is playing the kazoo and it just plays Photoshop Lisa Frank 420, and I'm just like, perfect.
Yeah,
perfect. Like, perfect. I mean, that video in itself has become a meme. I mean, even toward the badly dubbed girl, where she's like, "Can we play with more animals?" And I think even just the line, "Can we play more kazoo?" It's like,
so tough.
If you're that interested, I mean, in the description of this video there is the original, but you can also get linked to the full 30-minute. I don't even know what this video is. It's weird how people find this stuff.
It's a good time.
It is a good time. It is a good time. I'll give it that. It's just, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I love it.
I understand why.
Great video. Anything you want to add real quick to the podcast
There's
before we
something
end?
I forgot to mention for the Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Ah, yeah, go ahead.
There's this quote in there that I loved, and I'm going to use this for everything whenever anyone asks me to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to say, I don't want to try anything new. I don't want to do anything interesting. Oh no, it's I don't want to go places. I don't want to do anything new. That was it. Yeah.
Wait, I've heard that before. Was that in a statement by DC?
Oh. Oh my god, I hear the ambulances. I hear the fire department.
Ooh. I got a couple.
They got to heal that burn.
Let me just take a sip real quick. Just
Yeah.
That's good. But one other thing I want to add real quick is we are going to link a video kind of regarding the whole Batman v Superman, bad reviews, bad reaction, and all that kind of bullshit. It's basically a video that's kind of been blowing up, and it's basically sad Ben Affleck, which is basically after an interviewer from Yahoo basically says how, weirdly enough, the film is getting mixed reviews.
Yeah.
I'd
say it's more negative review.
It's more negative, but I would say it isn't mixed for the most part, because some people still seem to like it, and there are positives. Like I hear Ben Affleck is fantastic in the film. I hear he's the only good thing about this film. And it just, while playing, I forget what song it is, it's just a zoom and close up of his sad reaction to the film not doing very well, and it's so perfect. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but we definitely have to link that because it's too good. It really is too good. But yeah, so anything else?
I plan on seeing the film at some point soon, so I'll have my words to say on it.
I don't know if Ferret is, so maybe you guys can do a later discussion if you do. Who knows? I have no interest in seeing it.
If not, if Tourette's does, then we could collab on that.
I think he will.
Okay.
He might be on the next podcast. We'll see. But anyway, if that's it, I'll end it as I always do by saying I am the Angry Raccoon.
I am Ace.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Dewey? I think we need to dub Ferret saying Dewey as well.
No, I ain't got time for that.
Damn it. Dewey! There. Just don't do that.
Alright, laters, guys.